Greetings, loved ones. So, evidently, you can see that I have 8 pairs of bread toes, and you're saying, oh my god, what a loser, this guy's gonna resell all of them. No, I'm not gonna resell all of them. So, obviously, I have 4 men's sizes, and I have 4 grade school sizes. So, what I did with the men's sizes, I kept one for myself, obviously, because I'm obsessed with this culture. I gave one to my pops, then I hooked a friend up, and I'm not gonna lie, I did resell all the grade school ones, and I will explain my method to my madness to why I bought the grade school ones, because no, they're actually not bricks. I did make decent profit off of all of them, and I did resell one of the men's sizes. They're basically already all gone. I already sold them, but I just decided before I ship them off, I would film this video with them just so I could give you evidence that these methods do work. So obviously in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can get any Nike or Jordan for retail, and this is my new method because what we used to do, what we tried was the multiple people jig on Nike sneakers, and now we just found out that they're IP banning us, they're tracking our address, they're tracking our payment. So clearly, online is not the way to go. There's no way to jig it, unlike Adidas.com, where we could use the multiple people jig and have lots of success. We haven't had a lot of success recently because the human races, you couldn't add to cart, all that. It was terrible. But I can assure you with Yeezys, the multiple people jig never fails. But when it comes to Jordans and Nikes, I'm telling you guys, online is not the way to go. So this is going to be like how to get any single, no matter how limited, any single Jordan, any single Nike shoe that is going to be releasing in stores. I'm going to teach you exactly what to do when you're in stores, when you're in the mall, because I understand a lot of you guys have no idea what you're doing. Now, some of you guys watching, you might be extremely experienced in doing this. And now, back in 2014, back in 2013, before there were all these apps and all these websites for copying shoes, this is what I used to do. I used to basically go out to first come, first serves and all that. We used to get tickets on Wednesdays and then try to get the shoes on the weekends. Yeah, so I'm basically going back to my roots on how I used to cop Nikes and Jordans, but it's a little different now because now we have those footlocker, foot action, and champs apps. But I'm going to show you exactly how to take advantage of all this stuff and how no matter what, you're going to be able to cop, because clearly this has been working for me so far, and come on guys, I can't give you any more proof than this, that these methods do work. So I can assure you it is at least worth giving a try. Now there are three things that you are going to need when trying to do these things. The first thing you're going to need is a cell phone, okay? The next thing you're going to need is determination and somewhat of a work ethic, all right? You need to have passion. You need to have a drive, because I'm going to provide you with the knowledge on how to acquire Jordans and Nikes. However, it's up to you to apply these tips and tricks and all this knowledge. That is up to you, my friend. So if you don't have the work ethic for this, I'm sorry, but it's going to be a lot harder for you to get these shoes. And the third thing you're going to need is Borat on DVD. So be sure to get that. That is absolutely a necessity for this. I don't need to explain why, but just make sure you get it and watch it. Alright, so essentially, I'm going to be breaking this entire process down into 6 steps. That's it. I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible into only 6 steps. I also wanted to mention, because someone also said something about, hey man, you got 8 pairs of bread toes, are you going to do a giveaway? Here's what I do on giveaways, okay guys? My giveaways are unannounced. Obviously, announcing a giveaway, it is an extremely fantastic marketing tactic. I'm not saying it's wrong. If you do that, that's fine. That's a great marketing tactic, but it's just something that I don't like to do. I just did a giveaway like a few months ago. For all my OG subscribers, you guys did see it. It was completely unannounced. I snuck it into a video, so if I do a giveaway in the future, you just have to watch the entire video, because I might just sneak it in somewhere. I might say comment something down below, and I'm not going to make any mention about it aside from that little snippet in the video. So just pay attention, guys. I'm not saying I'm going to do one soon. I might not, but just be on the lookout whenever you're on this channel, whenever you're in this community. Just because I love you guys so much, I do like to give back to you. I just don't necessarily like to do it for publicity. I just love you guys, that's why. Okay, so with that out of the way, I'm not trying to waste your time, but, you know, some of you guys were wondering. So let's get into the first step. Step number 1. Step number 1 is to sign up on the Footlocker app, the Foot Action app, the Champs app. In addition to that, the Kicks USA app, because occasionally Kicks USA does first come first serves. However, sometimes Kicks USA also does raffles. Of course, if Kicks USA does do a first come first serve, feel free to line up there, but if not, we're going to be focusing on how it would be on a more limited release, because the limited ones are what's going to be more difficult to cop. So you will want to sign up on like the Finish Line app if there's any reservations there. Basically just any website for any store that is going to be in your mall. Sign up there, and I've taught you guys multiple times how to basically just get multiple entries. For instance, you could definitely keep your name the same for every single one. The only problem with this is if you win multiple times, you can only pick up one, which is really sucks because, you know, you're going to be tempted to pick up another. But yeah, same name. If it's going to be at the same store, that's fine. For the phone number, change the last few digits just in case they do ask you to verify your phone number. You can always argue, because they never ask you to verify the phone number, but just in case, you can always argue that you made a typo if you only changed the last few digits of your phone number. And in addition to that, for your email, for the most part, it does work where you can just add a +1, +2, +3. That is for the Kicks USA app and just some other online raffles. So now that you're signed up on everything here, if you have the 10 minutes head start, that's fantastic. If you have multiple entries on Kicks USA, that is amazing. But step number 2, who wins raffles? Like, come on. I enter so many times for raffles. I have not won ever. It's like, it's unreal. And I completely understand that. You guys experience the same exact things. And if you do win raffles, it's very, very rare. Now, I personally have 10-minute head starts on the Footlocker, Foot Action, and Champs app. I don't win. I simply don't win on any of the raffles. So now, this step 2 is essentially explaining what to do if you don't win the raffle, because most of us don't win the raffles, especially for limited releases, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. So basically, this is how you're going to get extra pairs, because if you guys don't know, when you win the raffles on the apps or whatever, or basically just any raffle, you have to go pick up your pair within a certain time frame, and it is very strict. I witnessed myself, a lady come in at 3:05. The guy would not let her purchase a pair. So after 3 o'clock for the Foot Action, Champs, and Footlocker app, all those, you guys get to pick up the pairs that were not picked up. The pairs that were reserved, you guys get those. So now I'm going to explain to you how to acquire these, alright? So you guys got to listen closely here. So depending on how limited the shoe is, that is how early you're going to arrive, and that is up to you to estimate. For instance, for the BRED toes, I managed to get my size, and I'm a size 10, but they didn't have any lower sizes, so if you happen to be a lower size, you definitely want to get there much earlier. Now, I got there at 5:30 my time. It doesn't matter what time zone, because it's going to be depending on wherever you are. So I got there at 5:30 my time, and that's to acquire a size 10 or up. Now, if you're a size 7.5, if you're a size 8, if you're a size 8.5, 9, 9.5. So if it's going to be this limited, I would advocate getting there around 5 o'clock, perhaps around like 4:45. And a lot of you are just saying, you really expect me to do that? Keith, you really expect me to get up that early? Guys, trust me, it is not that hard, especially if you have a passion for this culture. You really have to enjoy collecting sneakers. You have to like have a passion to get the shoe for retail. If you're not too dedicated, go ahead and pay resale. But this is for people who are willing to put in that extra work, that extra grind. Whoever's willing to do that, you guys have to get up early. Go to sleep early. Guys, force yourself to go to sleep early. Like, drink some hot milk or whatever. Because if you don't get there early, this whole plan is foiled. Everything from the bottom to top is ruined. The first, like, the number one priority is getting there early. 5:30 is the latest I would recommend. Alright, so now once you arrive there and say it's 5:30, it's really dark out, you know, it's kind of scary, you might be wondering, what exactly am I supposed to do? So normally the doors for the mall are going to be locked. Whatever mall you're going to, it's going to be locked. So you can wait outside. However, occasionally security does come around and they kick you out and they say you can't wait here until 6 o'clock. Now here's what you have to do. You have to look around for other people in your parking lot, because what we do at mine, and I've seen this at other ones that I have been to in the past, people create a list, and that list is essentially for everyone who gets there at certain times. You have to go around to people waiting in their cars. Don't be afraid to talk to people, guys. You have to say, hey, did anyone start the list? And if you happen to be the one who gets there first, you're the one who has to start the list. And when you see other cars pull up, when you see other people trying to go line up, you have to go tell them, I have the list, and you have to take down their names. Now, this is the only possibility for making this somewhat organized. So I've seen multiple places do this. It should be very common. If you show up at a place, you should see this too. But if you don't, you might have to be the one who starts it. And of course, if there is no list, if no one's doing a list and you don't feel like starting the list yourself, what you're going to have to do, it might get a little hectic, you just have to maintain your spot. I'm telling you guys, you just stay as close to that person, whoever's in front of you, as possible. Make sure you maintain it. You only have to maintain it until usually 8 o'clock your time. Sometimes they keep you waiting until 9 o'clock. And once that time comes, Foot Locker opens up, they call you in, and they give you a number. Once you get this number, hold on to the number with your life. And now also, once they let you in for Foot Locker, you will also be granted the opportunity to purchase a grade school size. And now I'm just briefly going to explain my opinion on this. I would say I would acquire a grade school size for limited releases like this, because I was able to make around $20 to $30 profit on each of these, and that is after StockX selling fees. They're only retailing for, I believe, is like $120. I sold them all for like $170-ish. So it is a small amount of profit, but when you consider that I had 4 pairs, that adds up a lot. In addition to this, I would make sure you bring all the coupons you have. I saw this one guy, he had tons of coupons, saving $20 a pair, so he basically doubled what I was making, which was incredible. So if you have the opportunity, and it's a limited shoe, feel free to check StockX prices, and if you see that there's some bids right now that are high enough for you to make profit, even if it's only $20 profit, I would acquire that grade school size, make that quick $20, because for me, guys, $20 is 2 hours of work, and I would much rather ship a shoe than clean tables for 2 hours. Now, step 3, once you exit the Foot Locker. Now, like I said, you should have been here really early, so you'll be one of the first few people, usually top 10, maybe even earlier than that, which would be fantastic for you guys. Now, right after you get out of Foot Locker, there should also be a line for Foot Action. Now, most people are going to be in the line for Foot Locker because they are unaware of the line for Foot Action. And if there is no line for Foot Action, this is what you have to do, because this is exactly what I did, and it worked to perfection. You go right outside the Foot Action store in your mall, and you just wait there. In addition, there might also already be a line for this. Foot Action also does the reservation system, and they do have leftover pairs. Now, something unique about Foot Action, and this is what they did for the BRED toes. They only do this sometimes. They release 20 to 30 pairs, depends how limited the shoe is, obviously, via first come, first serve. So get in that Foot Action line as soon as possible, because surprisingly, even though it's really late, most people are in the line for Foot Locker. And I was so surprised. I managed to get in 7th in line for Foot Action, even though there were herds of people in the Foot Locker line. So I actually was able to get my first pair, first come, first serve, via Foot Action. Now, obviously, they don't always do first come, first serve. At Foot Action, sometimes they will also give you another ticket. You're going to be in a little bit of a predicament, because they give you numbers and they tell you to come back at 2:45, and they're going to start calling people at 3 o'clock. So now you'll have 2 tickets. You'll have the Foot Locker ticket, and you'll have the Foot Action ticket. If you don't have the Foot Action ticket, then you will simply be in the first come, first serve. They'll give you the first come, first serve pair, and there you go. You've already secured 1 pair. So now let's talk about if you want extra pairs. So if they didn't give you the first come, first serve release, if they gave you a ticket, obviously you can't be in 2 places at once, and if you do want both pairs, you're going to have to bring a second body for this. You're going to have to maybe bring your wife, maybe you bring your kids, maybe you bring a friend of yours. It is completely up to you, but you need a second body, because they do this stuff at the same time. Now, in between all of this, in between the Foot Locker and Foot Action thing, while there's lines for that, in the midst of it, they will randomly call up a line. All right, for extra pairs, I am giving out tickets. Literally, as soon as they say this, even if you're in line, this is kind of risky, so it's up to you to go for this. If you're in line, say, for Foot Action at this point, I would leave the Foot Action line and go all the way to the Kicks USA line, simply grab your ticket and get back in line. That's what I did. I was able to do this fine. No one cared that I went there and jumped back simply because most of everyone else already did this. So by this time, you should have 3 to 4 tickets. So now, again, in the midst of all this, let's talk about step 5. You want to bring a laptop, and if you can't bring a laptop, that's fine, but I would say bring a laptop so while you're in line, because sometimes these lines do go on until 10 o'clock, have your laptop out, connect to the free Wi-Fi in the mall. If there is no free Wi-Fi, make a hotspot on your phone and go for all the online releases. In addition to that, Nike SNKRS is always selling every single Jordan for the most part and Nike shoe. So you could give it a shot on there while you're waiting in line. And now, finally, step number 6. You have to make sure that you're back at Foot Locker and Foot Action, unless Foot Action did the first come, first serve, because they do that occasionally. Make sure you're back there at 2:45 because they will start at 3 o'clock calling numbers. They will organize you in the back of the stores and they will start calling you up, and that's when you have the opportunity to buy your pair. And essentially, yeah, guys, if you have single digits in your tickets, if you got there early enough, you're basically guaranteed a pair. And now, obviously, not every single store does these reservation systems. So if they don't, simply first come, first serve, and it makes it that much easier. Now, one big tip I would like to mention, obviously, if you've noticed that it is extremely hectic at your mall, it's completely unorganized, don't keep trying there. Find a new mall. Make the extra drive. You might have to get up even earlier, but it is going to be worth it. Make the extra drive to find a new mall, and hopefully that mall is more organized. I know in my vicinity, there is another mall, and it is terrible. I've tried it. It's so bad, and it's so dangerous. Fights everywhere. It's awful. But now I found another mall where it's very peaceful. But yeah, I would advocate that you try these methods. I'm no longer trying that much online for Jordans and Nikes just because I don't know any jigs that we can use anymore. To me, it's all about the dedication. I'm willing to get up early for this. If you're willing to get up early and be there at around 5:30 to 5 o'clock, I can assure you, you can get your pair. And if you don't get your size, you can always size swap with someone for a little extra money. You could always resell your pair. And yeah, clearly, guys, this method works for me. I got 8 pairs of shoes. Well, 4 pairs of the men's, but then I got 4 grade school ones. And, you know, I made some profit. I hooked up some friends, and I got a personal cop for me. So, obviously, guys, this year, Jordans are going to be a lot more limited according to Jordan Brand. So, make sure you don't sleep, guys. Literally, make sure you don't sleep, guys. You have to wake up early this year. This year is going to be pretty bad. So, good luck on all these upcoming releases, guys. This is how I copped so many pairs of bread toes, and I'm wishing you guys luck, and I'll see you guys next time. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed, if you perhaps learned something. Feel free to subscribe to join this awesome community. And with that, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys next time.